Hi Flosstube, my name is Alyssa Jones, also known as AJ Stitch on Instagram. Welcome to my Flosstube channel. This is an end of March, early April update, and I am filming it for the second time. I was all over the place in my first attempt. I was talking so fast. It wasn't great, so instead of trying to edit it and make it coherent for you, I thought I should probably just attempt this whole process again. So I have for you today my end of March stitching, which I got quite a bit done, and I have 2 new starts to share, a tiny bit of haul because I had to order floss and the floss cannot travel alone, and some exciting news too. So hello. It is April 7th. It is the Monday, the first day of Masters Week. So the most beautiful golf course ever is on television for your viewing pleasure. Starting tomorrow are the practice rounds. Today was the friends and family day. It's such a good week of golf. For those of you who love watching golf or love playing golf, you know exactly what I mean. For those of you who don't, this is the week like to watch. If you are like, I've been wanting to watch golf, here you go. This is your moment. Masters Week. All right, so since I last saw you, which was at the end of March, I have done a slightly okay job of tracking what I stitched. I don't think I've written much down in April yet. But March, I did kind of track a little bit. And I had a few days where I didn't get to stitch a lot, and some days where I got to stitch a lot more. And it just all evens out. That's all you can do, right? And so one thing that I worked on quite a bit, I had mentioned, I think, in my last video, that I wanted to try to finish my Haunted Library Sal by Lola Crow. And this is a project that I started when the Sal came out originally, I don't know, 3 years ago, maybe? And it's on a piece of 36 count Dark Mountain that I'm pretty sure I ordered from Kitten Stitcher. Or Kitten Stitcher, her shop, Shakespeare's Peddler. And I was not as far into this as I had hoped I was. And now I am past 60% done. I'm not finished. And I was also running out of DMC 310, which there's quite a bit of in this pattern. So that's why I had to order haul, because I decided to just get the small cone of DMC 310. I use it enough. So I got out my Haunted Library, and I did make a valiant effort to finish, and it's not. But 60%, that's pretty great. And I have the entire top done, and we're working in the bottom half now. I didn't do any back stitch yet, and I'm not sure how much there is, and all I can really remember from when I looked at the regular PDF was that the steps had some back stitch, but there has to be more. And it's going to look so great when I do it. I just wish I loved back stitching. But I did get quite a bit done. And it is delightful to work on. I had just hoped to finish it before the new Lola Crow Sal came out, and I didn't. No, I did not. So that needs more work. We'll see. I'm not even pretending that I'm going to work on that because I have so much I want to get done before I go to Stitch North. And that includes this project, which is Queen Bee by Yasmin's Made with Love. And I'm pulling up my stitching tablet here if you're wondering why I'm looking down rudely. Oh, I can also show you real quick. Here's the PDF view. Oh no, see, that's why. Here's the mock-up of Haunted Library, so you can't see the back stitch either. There's my ring light. And you can see that I was getting pretty far down. It's coming along. Kind of excited to do that very ghostly librarian. Or no, it wasn't a librarian, it was Mary Shelley, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm kind of remembering that now from the emails originally. So then I've been working on Queen Bee by Yasmin's Made with Love, and here is the PDF. And you can see that fabulous bee. And last time I was still working like around the bee, and I made some more progress. It really does stitch up very quickly. This is not, I mean, for considering how dense the Quaker portion of this is, it really does move. So there she is. And I've gotten to the bottom and started those bottom Quakers. The bee's completely done. And I think I'm only missing like 5 or 6 letters or numbers. But I'm super thrilled with this. Ugh, such a good bee. And this just stitches so nice. It really, truly does. So my plan was to work on this next motif and just keep working across at this point and hope that it all works out. It's going to be close enough. And since the borders don't connect, if I happened to be over by 1, I don't know if you'd even be able to tell. This is being stitched on Flamingo Medium. It's a 32 count Belfast by Color and Cotton that I had gotten in their club. And I just love it. In this project bag is a neglected project that I've been thinking about a lot. I watched the Evertotes Flosstube, and Caroline showed hers, and she has like the opposite half of mine done. And I know this was from her Caroline's birthday box. And I really do want to finish this too. So she set the goal of finishing it by her birthday, which I'm pretty sure is in June. Maybe I'll get it done. No, absolutely not. I'm sorry, I have to zip these, or Apollo, in his royal lion cuteness, likes to dive inside project bags, and then he looks through and he chooses flosses that he thinks should be his, and he picks them up in his mouth and takes them away. So perfect. Okay, so the next project that I've worked on is Funky Chickens by Satsuma Street. This is a project that I started with Whitney, Crafty Whitney, and Ness of Stitcher Ness, and Jer of Jer Stitches. And I can show you my PDF. No, not the PDF, the mock-up. And this is the one that you fold in, you like sew these rectangles into this magical bird. And so there are 3 chickens in the pattern. I have the top 2 done, and I'm working on the 3rd one. None of them are fully finished, you will see, because they're all still on the same piece of fabric. And this is how far I have gotten on that 3rd one. So there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's coming along nicely. It's really fun to work on. It's getting pretty far down. I think I completed 1 color so far. So there's a lot of colors still to come in this last chicken. And it's going to say, guess what? Chicken butt, which was one of our favorite things to say in high school. I haven't said it since high school until now. It's great. And my plan is to finish that before Stitch North, because I think we're going to attempt to like do a little of the finishing at Stitch North together, like at least in our hotel room where no one can see us like working through that. And I'm hoping I left enough room in between each one. But same people, different event, including Carrie of Roxy Floss. We started Scary Apothecary by the Witchy Stitcher last fall, and I would really like to get this done by this spring Stitch North. Whitney and Jer were at a retreat this weekend, and they sent a picture. They're like, we're totally gonna finish this weekend. And I got mine out because I was like, oh wait, no, I can finish this too. I can't show you, that's the chart. I can show you the mock-up maybe. And doesn't show the back stitch, and the back stitch really does make this piece, as much as I don't love doing it. So I got mine out and sent them a picture, and apparently I hadn't communicated well and they didn't realize quite how far I was. But here we are. There's my Scary Apothecary so far. My back stitch is complete all the way down to where I am, which is inside this box doing spells, elixirs, and potions, which are letters almost entirely made of backstitch, which is not my favorite, but it's beautiful. And I'm so excited to have it done. And I started looking at frames on the internet, and I'm not sure what I want to do. I think I just want to frame it with a really cool black frame. But if you follow Whitney of Crafty Whitney on Instagram, you'll see that she's been doing some really great witchy stitcher finishes that are inspiring and make you want to play with buttons and sparkles, which this could use like a little bit of happiness with it. So I'm really close to complete on that. I think I'm 80% done, and I will be finishing that. That's a plan I'm going to stick to. I will finish that. So while I was working on that though, which was on Saturday, so April 5th, I suddenly remembered that in March, I never got out my leap year stitching. No, it didn't even cross my mind on March 29th or March 30th. No, it did not hit me until April 5th that I was supposed to be working on this. So I try to do 800 stitches a month, which puts me on track to finish this project by the next leap day. And here's where I'm currently at. I have about 200 more stitches to do tonight. So that's my #1 goal. In addition to posting this video and getting it edited and all of those things. So I have about 200 more, and then I'll be done with April. It is really beautiful, and I felt great satisfaction that I got to stitch all the way across the top and start that down border, because for a long time I didn't have that done. I didn't want to miscount, so I just waited until all the little squares were there. But now, that's good colors, Carolyn Manning. Thank you. Thank you for knowing what you're doing with color. Delightful. So that will be finished. I'll probably show you in the next video, but it won't be exciting because it'll just be a few more squares at this point. Usually one thread on that project, which I didn't tell you color or anything today. I didn't even tell you the color of Scary Apothecary. I don't think I know the linen color for my funky chickens, but that's just the call for DMC. This linen is for Scary Apothecary was a 40 count pub crawl that had gotten a rust color in it. And we were calling it pub crawl mistake, but in my head I call it drunken pub crawl because it's the end of the night, not the beginning of the night. And so then my cherry blossom shooting star is on a piece of dried violets by Color and Cotton. At this point, if you're not aware, I do get the linen club from Color and Cotton, and they do such fun colors, and it has like given me a beautiful rainbow stash. And I used to do their 32 count club. Now I get their 36 count club, and I'm very happy with that. I still have a really nice selection of 32. My 36 is growing, and then I get the floss club, or the fabric club from Roxy Floss. I had stopped it, and then Geraldine and Whitney sent pictures of their new linen they got, and I had to email Hannah, who is so delightful and just immediately helped me through life. She not only got me signed back up for the fabric club and set aside some linen for this month's club for me to pick up at Stitch North, but she also helpfully deleted my second order of the Modern Folk Embroidery Holiday Countdown because I didn't need to. So kind. I would have never caught that. Never. Thanks, Hannah. All right. So then, each day at lunch, I've worked on flea market flowers, which I'm stitching for my buddy, and she wants this for her craft room. And I've made some progress. This is dense. This is not fast stitching. So you can see I've gotten more flower done, And those are big flowers. They're like a lot of stitches. And so today at lunch, in my lunchtime, after I like tried to eat my hot soup as fast as I could, and it had burnt my mouth 3 times, I was able to get 3 petals stitched and this stem. And that was it. Lunches are short when you're a teacher. You get 30 minutes. By the time you use the facilities and eat food, you really only get about 8 minutes of stitching time. It's tough. Tough to get enough in. But I did the best I could. So that made progress, and I'm going to keep working on that. And then that's the end of my whips for right now. I can tell I'm talking slower. You're so welcome for me refilming this. I was like, blah, 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 the first time, way too fast. So I have 2 new starts. The first one is the Lola Crow frame for the new Extraordinary Bird. I think that I said bird funny. Whew. And I can show you what this looks like in the PDF because everybody, no, not in the PDF. Maybe the mock-up. Yes. So there's the mock-up of the aviary. You can see there's an owl. Gosh, I love owls. And there's also another bird too. I think it's a raven, maybe. So I wanted to get it started. I started it on the day it came out. I did not prepare for this at all. I had no floss pulled. I had no linen pulled. I just went into it with the thought of, well, it's Lola Crow. There's gonna be some 310, so I'll be able to start it. And I was right. There is quite a bit of 310, but there's also a lot of other beautiful colors in this frame. And I don't think this linen's gonna show up really well. My first video, it was kind of washed out. That's a little closer. It got cloudier out, so it's not washing out as much. I'm really quite happy with how this is looking so far. This is Glacier, which is a 36 count by Color and Cotton. And I'm stitching it because the pattern said 2 threads over 2. And I would not normally do that on 36 count, but I did really want it to pop. And with the frame being so delicate, I thought, let's go for it. And it's not at all uncomfortable stitching. So I'm very happy with it. And this linen has a nice weave that's easy to get that many threads through. So that's my start. And I was missing a lot of the teals, we'll call them teals, that are in this. And so I had told Darcy, because he started it too, or no, he dyed linen for it. He's going to start it. That's what it is. He has a really nice linen that, like, run to his shop, not linen, Ada. He has a really nice Ada. Run to his shop if you are an Ada stitcher because it's beautiful and this is going to look good on there. But he didn't start yet because he had other things going on. He's a very busy gentleman. And I haven't gotten to see yet if Emma started hers. I probably should check in with her. Emma of Emma X Stitching. But I didn't have the colors. And so Darcy's like, I'll just send them to you. I'm like, maybe. No, I can get them at my Michael's. I'll go there. So I went to Michael's and had like not the best experience at Michael's this time. But they still didn't have those colors in the little DMC drawers there. You can buy the individual ones. So I ended up having to buy one of the like fancy DMC packs just so I could finally get these colors. Like I don't know if it's like 3833 or something like that. I couldn't find it and it just kept not being there. So now I have it and I'll be able to make more progress because all of that teal fills in this section right here. And the way my brain works, I like top down as evenly as you can. So couldn't move past this point because I needed a color I didn't have. Such a joy. So I look forward to making more progress on that. I told Darcy that if you do 1,000 stitches a week on that, you'll be ready for the first release. So that's my goal. I did, I think, like 250. So there's more work to do on that this week, which is going to be really hard to get to because I opened an Etsy store and released my first pattern, which I'm going to show right here. My shop on Etsy is called AJ Stitchery. And I still prefer AJ Stitch though, so that when I created my shop logo, it just says AJ Stitch. Probably not the right way to go about things, but I was stubborn. And I drew the design again because I wasn't actually thrilled with how it turned out on my old device. And I was able to upgrade to a new iPad, and I love drawing on it with the pencil and designing that way. And also the software I used helped me make the golf ball actually round, because when I showed my previous golf ball design, look, the golf ball was like squished. And they shouldn't be squished. So here is my new design. Actually, hold on. This is my new logo that I created all by myself on Canva. All by myself. The software just does it for you. It's great. The name of my design is Augusta. And it is perfectly timed to stitch right now during Masters Week. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. It's so happy. Those greens. It really is that green there. And those azaleas, oh, they're so beautiful. Okay, so last week was the Augusta Women's Amateur, which I thought meant that I should 100% start mine and make sure like my pattern worked in Pattern Keeper really nicely and that the colors were working, and I'm so in love with it. I posted an Instagram pic, but I did it like in the worst lighting ever, and my stitching looks really dark. However, this was the original. See how washed out that is? Like you can barely see any definition there. Like you don't even know what that is. I started mine and got 22% done, and look at that. Now it's like a little forest behind the green, which is what it is in real life. I got to some azaleas, and I have a lot more azaleas to do, and then I'm gonna be at the bunkers in the green, and I'm so thrilled with it. Like, that's good. I'm just using a piece of Color and Cotton Glacier, 32 count, 2 threads over 2, and I'm loving it. It's great. I really think it works on any blue. A gray would be great. You could probably even, if you had the right green, put it on green. You could really put this on any color as long as you're going to get the white and the yellow to pop of the golf tee and the Augusta. I will tell you, like, if you decide to stitch this, don't go buy a full skein of 310 for it, because there's only one stitch of 310. And in my pattern, when you get it, it does like tell you how many stitches of each color. So you can truly decide for yourself, like, do I need to buy that? Can I just use something else? The answer is you can definitely use something else if you have it. But oh my goodness. So Darcy was my very first customer. So nice. And he dyed a piece of Ada. This is stunning. And he has started stitching this. He sent me some update pics, and he started in the fairway. And this is just so kind. And then 2 other stitching friends of mine also bought my pattern. Is that not the... that's just so kind. So kind. However, those of you who watch my videos, don't go buy this pattern unless you really were like lacking an Augusta pattern in your life. Okay? I don't want anybody like just buying patterns to be nice to me. I want you to buy patterns because you really want to stitch them. Truly. And if you're like, I need this Augusta pattern in my life, and I have to stitch this while I watch the Masters, please join me. If you're like, oh, that's so cute that she's like trying to design, just like wave at me and maybe like my video. I have lots of ideas for more designs coming up, and I've started drawing them, and I've got a lot of rough drafts out there. And I have another golf one, so if you're like, oh no, the Masters is going to be over, what are we going to stitch next? Don't worry, I have a plan. And then I also have a couple other things that are not golf related, so maybe by my next video I'll have another pattern release. Maybe. That would be fun. And maybe by my next video I'll have more stitching done. Oh my goodness, I just realized something. I 100% didn't show you one of my whips. It's right here by my feet. I'm going to go back and I'm going to do that now. So this one is the 2025 Modern Folk Embroidery Sal, and it's called Baldwin Birdies. And I am stitching this on my first modern Roxy Floss linen from Evertotes Club. And it's like this beautiful red orange. Oh yeah, that's showing up pretty good. And I'm stitching it with DMC 310, 1 thread over 2, 40 count. I'm really happy with the coverage because the dark parts are very dark. And look at, I'm past the, I think, 12%. So I have all of January done now. And I'll be working on the February stitches. So I'm only 3 months behind. Can't wait to hold this up in like 6 years and say, no, I'm only like 5 years behind. Boy. So I've been stitching like 1 thread a day on that if I can, and the progress is noticeable. I also use really long lengths of DMC for most things. So when they're not folded in half, I can get like 130 stitches on this with 1 thread. By the end, it's looking rough, and it's time. You have to like, no, you cannot stitch anymore with this. I did get a little bit of haul, and I'm just gonna show, I don't normally show haul, but I was excited. I ordered the cone of DMC, and these things had to travel with the cone of DMC. I got Groovy Chicks by Satsuma Street because I want to start this at Spring Stitch North. Eek. My buddies, I think, are planning on stitching it too. I also want to start this one at Spring Stitch North. It's an Ode to Libraries. My friend Jer has already started this, and she made a beautiful Roxy Floss conversion. I'm probably not going to use her conversion because hers is probably fabulous, but also I want to use up some of my one-of-a-kinds from Roxy Floss that I got through their club. So I think I'm going to pull from that. However, I'm going to encourage you to reach out to Jer if you're looking for a Roxy Floss conversion for this absolutely beautiful piece. And then I got Books and Plants by Puntini, which I just love and believe fully, but it's probably not for me. It's probably for a friend. And I did order the floss pack for this. It didn't come yet. I don't know if it's back ordered. I didn't pay enough attention, but it's Twilight Moon by Tiny Modernist. Love that one. There's a few of these from the X-Stitch Rainbow collection that I really liked, so I might have to get a couple more. And then I also got Lily by Stacey Nash. I really want to stitch these animal crackers. They make me so happy. And I haven't started a single one yet. So it's time. And then I also got myself some new size 28 needles. I got some Peacemakers and some bones. I am going to twist Vanessa's arm on our way to Stitch North and force us to stop at Hobby House Needleworks. I'm going to grab a few more. I am determined to figure out what my favorite size 28 needle is, because I love this size needle for most of my projects, but some of them are frustrating. Like the eyes, I think John James are the ones that frustrate me the most right now. The eye is so hard to get the thread through. But I've had better luck with Peacemakers, and then I wanted to try the bones again. And I already took one out of here for my Lola Crow, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to be working on my needles. Otherwise, I'm going to be prepping for Stitch North. I started making table gifts last night, and they look slightly like the sculptures from the original Beetlejuice. So I have some learning and practice to do for that. Obviously, when making table gifts, I should immediately learn and take on an entirely new craft. Why do I do these things to myself? No clue. So I have a lot going on, and I still have to go to work regularly. So I feel like every minute that I'm not at work right now is a little full. So hopefully you're all enjoying your stitching. I can't wait to see your updates. If you haven't filmed a video in a while, get on it. I need some things to watch once the Masters is over. I also we'll be finishing that this week, and it's going to be tough because I do have a golf tournament on Sunday that I play in, and that's going to take up a lot of my stitching time. It'll all come together though, and I'll be posting my updates of that on Instagram. I don't expect to have enough content by the end of the Masters to film a whole nother video, so just watch Instagram for those updates if you're like dying to see my design come to life. All right, well, I hope you all have a great week. Happy Monday. May your week be filled with lots of stitching. Talk to you soon. Bye.